I think there are times where it is rude. I think we're in a shakeout period. It's we have this new toy, so you want to play with that new toy all the time. But you have to, there's a time and a place for everything. And I think we're all still trying to figure out the appropriate time and a place for the use of the phones.
If I'm going to a store and I ask someone for help and then they're using their cell phone and then they take a minute to answer me, it gets annoying then.
If it's someone just kind of at the gym who's just working the desk, I don't think it's really a big deal, because if they're not doing anything, there's really no harm in it.
Unless your work environment specifically requires it, or actually no, even if they allow it, you still shouldn't do it unless it's required, because I don't think it's professional.
No, right. If I'm in a customer relationship with somebody and they want to break off and use their phone, that's inappropriate.
Stuff like that. If I'm going up to a cashier at a supermarket and they're texting while they're bringing up my order, that's annoying. Put the cell phone in the first of all, why do you think you have time when you have a line of 50 people trying to check out their food? So,
well, I would think it's pretty unprofessional, to be honest with you, because while you're working, unless you have to be on the phone for your job, you need to pay attention to the customers, and you need to pay attention to what you're supposed to be accomplishing.
Yeah, if someone's supposed to be working and I see them on their cell phone, I go, well, what, are you kidding?
If a doctor was to come into my room and use his phone, I would be like, are you serious? But I think it depends on the circumstance.
But if they're on their cell phone, when I'm just going around grabbing a box of cereal or something, I'm not particularly peeved by it.
And that's not to say that people don't take a quick break and go make a phone call or whatever, but it should be just that. You go away from the environment, do what you have to, and then come back.
Yes, I do find that to be rude. I would never use my cell phone at work, and well, I guess maybe if it was in a private area, in a back area, but if it's in front of customers, I usually think that's rude and unprofessional.
I work at a TV station. Some of our floor crew is busy with their cell phone. Inappropriate, because you have to be attentive to the moment.
I think that as long as they're doing their job well and they'll respond to the customers, it's fine.
Only if I'm trying to be helped, if I need some help. If they're affecting that, then yeah. But I mean, if they're just standing around and I'm doing my thing and I don't see them being rude to anyone, then it's fine.
If you're walking through Walmart and I have a question about something that I want to buy and I have to wait for you to finish your phone call, I don't think the managers at Walmart would be too thrilled with that, or any store for that matter.
People are people. They want to stay connected, so they're going to be well, I'm at work, but I'm going to text people at the same time.
I think I would think less of the establishment. I would think it was less organized and not really on top of their workers. If they're texting or on the phone, they're clearly not really doing their job.
I see the establishment as at least understanding that people use cell phones. I don't see the establishment as oh, we're lazy, so we're going to hire lazy people that text all the time. I see them as they understand. They're not going to force people to not use their cell phone, because then all it's going to do is just cause the employees to get a bit more creative about. Either they're going to get more creative about texting, or they're going to just not text at all and be a little bit more disgruntled.
Is cell phone addiction possible?
I think cell phone addiction is possible. It's a very real problem, I think.
There is an addictive quality.
I feel like people don't talk. They have to text.
It's this sense of being connected.
Come in on their cell phones and just stand there and expect me to know what they want. Well, you have to speak.
It's a sense of having meaning.
Maybe only one phone call a day and about 200 texts a day.
It's a sense of being important.
But I can go through a class without touching my phone.
For many people, they don't have that in their everyday life, so you have it in a sort of a virtual way.
To me, that seems socially crippling.
And the evidence is everywhere. Just take a walk through the quad and you'll see kids, instead of making eye contact with people, saying hello as they're walking past, they're pecking away. Thumbs are going crazy as they're writing emails or BlackBerry messages to try to connect with whoever they're talking to. They want to keep that conversation going.
If you go to the dining hall, sometimes you'll see a table and no one's interacting with anyone at all, and everyone's interacting with people through their cell phones, which is just kind of sad.
Yes, I agree 100%, and it bothers me, even though I have a Facebook, I have my phone, but it gets so annoying, you know, when a conversation that could be a minute long, it turns into like a half an hour through texting. It's ridiculous to me.
Yeah, that's once again, it's sort of a puzzling thing to me. That it's like, just call. You know?
The fact that adults are still going through job interview training, even though they've done it 50 times in their lifetime, proves to you that technology has become, to many people, the only form of communication. They forget how to talk to people. So it is an issue that I guess a lot of people don't realize yet.
No. This is not an excuse for living.
It eliminates the person-to-person contact thing, which is something that is important, and something that a lot of people are forgetting how to do.
That's an addiction. They can't put it away even from the time it takes to get from Foy Hall to Saracen Student Union. So I think cell phone addiction is a real problem.
If I put half the amount of effort into my schoolwork and my actual work that I do doing other things on my phone, I probably would be graduated and a millionaire by now.
Hang up the phone sometimes. It's like, smell the flowers. Learn to smell the flowers.
We're all connected. It's the old New York telephone slogan from years ago, and it's even true these days. You want to stay connected and you want to be in the know, but at a certain point in time, it's probably healthy to put it down, take a deep breath, engage in a real conversation with an actual human being, that type of thing.
I think that if this generation that is so connected to their technology were to put it down for a moment, they would find that the world is not as scary as perhaps they've been led to believe, that it's more wondrous, and they're more resilient, or have the potential for resiliency than they ever thought.